After years of waiting for another football management game, FC Career Mode and Football Manager players might actually finally have another game to play and something to rival EA and Sports Interactive going forward. We've had many new games being announced recently, and here's another free-to-play game that's going to be coming to PC, mobile and PlayStation. And it's called SEGA Football Club Champions 25. Now this is going to be a football management career mode style game where you're going to take over a club and be the manager and deal with the transfers, training, tactics and the simulation of football games. So of course, with the content that I make around career mode, this was obviously going to be a game that I'd at least be interested in and have a look at, and obviously put the news out to you guys and see what you think about it. Now I recorded this video a few days ago when we just had a trailer and there wasn't really much to say about this game, but since then I've seen on X an 8-minute gameplay video of this up and coming game, so I'm going to show that to you in a moment. So what you can see now is just the trailer. The commentary is in Japanese, so I won't really play it out loud to you, but you can see the subtitles, and obviously it's not going to show too much of the game initially, just little parts of it and the history around this. Now this game's been created by SEGA, who interestingly enough own Sports Interactive, who develop Football Manager. So this is a bit of a surprise that they're creating a rival game for a game that they already basically own, which is strange. But apparently this is going to be a reboot of a popular Japanese Football Manager game from the late 90s, which is what they kind of sell in this trailer. They play on nostalgia a lot, and obviously this game is going to be a completely modernised version of it. And it's interesting because how badly Football Manager has been dealt with recently with the cancellation of the 2025 version of the game and no news about this year's game. It's interesting now that SEGA are releasing a completely different Football Manager game. And of course, with this coming to multiple platforms, it begs the question whether this is going to be an idea of the technology and the quality of the new Football Manager game, or whether, who knows, this could just replace it completely, because we've had no confirmation that Football Manager 26 is even going to be coming out yet. So just a little bit of information on this. Now, this game, I'm going to show you the cover now. All the advertising is going to be led by Manchester City because this is the biggest club that they have the rights to. Interestingly enough, the license for Manchester City has just been removed from Football Manager 24 in a recent update. So that might rub the fans up the wrong way that they've removed the license from one game and put it to another just to sell this new game. There's also going to be the Japanese J League, the K League in Korea, and there's going to be 10,000 real-life footballers who are going to be licensed in this game as part of the FIFA Pro license, which is kind of bog standard for football games these days. But it is good that we're going to get some real names and things, and I'd assume a lot of generic teams and leagues, but with the real players. So I'll play some of the gameplay footage in the background, which is a few clips put together. Now it is really difficult to grasp what's going on because of it's all in Japanese. Now obviously when this game releases, I'm sure there'll be editions where you can translate it to other languages. I sure hope so anyway, but definitely this is going to be branched out more for the Japanese audience and with a hope of making it like a worldwide success. But I think this first clip is like either searching through your squad of players or like shortlisting players or something. But as you can see, the players are in like a card format, which is quite nice. The UI looks okay in some parts from some of the photos that I've seen, but in other parts like this, it does look a little bit aged. Like it's just very, very blocked and squared. It looks very retro, which I'm not entirely big on this kind of menu, but in some parts this does look good. As you can see, the player menu here, for example, nice background. It looks really clean. With the card design, you've got the actual player faces, so I don't think they're actually going to use player photos. They're going to rely on the player faces in the game, which let's just see how that goes, because player faces, that can really make the game feel immersive or completely unimmersive. Like if you're looking at some of the eFootball faces, for example, they're completely ridiculous. They're nothing like the real players, whereas if they get the accuracy of FC, for example, then obviously the game would be a lot better. But straight away, all these kind of graphics, they're way better than what Football Manager is currently. So that is a bonus. Although if they're going to go down the route of it being a bit more cinematic and having cutscenes and things, then they really need to make it a lot better. But here's the main menu, and again, this looks a lot better than Football Manager, which, as you can tell in this video, I am just going to compare it directly to that. I don't think there's any use comparing it to FC Career Mode, especially when we're not actually seeing what features this game has yet. But as you can see at the bottom, you've got like training, you've got tactics, you've got like the money side of things, you've got a few things about the club in the top left corner, and then the team training in the background. I'm guessing if it's a training day. I do like this menu. I think it's pretty clean. It's not anything more than it needs to be. And then going into the game, you get a few things with the club badges here, like with the locker room in the background. But then going into the match engine, now this looks a bit strange when you see it really quick like this with just like the circles on the pitch. It doesn't look very good, but then there is actually screenshots showing the actual like games where you can actually see like the players run around and things. So again, looks much better than what Football Manager is currently, and I would assume that's what you're going to expect for the games coming up. Here you've got like the squad management. Again, it's in like this card design as well, which is pretty standard in football games these days. Here we've got the, I'm assuming, contract negotiations, where you've got like a bar of how close you are to agreeing a deal, it looks like, and you've got different options popping up and things like that. Also, you can see like the player and his agent. So again, this is like relatively solid. The graphics aren't amazing when you compare it to like the FC career mode negotiation cutscenes, but again, when you're comparing it to just the full management games like Football Manager or FIFA Manager back in the day, this is obviously a big improvement. One thing I'm unsure of, as you can see here, the money icon, but the numbers are like really small, like 300 something that's been agreed here by the looks of things, whatever the currency is in the game. That kind of worries me, because I'm thinking, is it actually going to be realistic currency in the game, like where players are going for millions, or whether it's going to be like their own like currency, like coin system in the game, which I hope it isn't going to be like that. In this clip, I believe you can like look through the different leagues and different teams and search through like the players. You can see like a little tactical element as well. You can see like what sort of formation the players play in, or what they play best in. So yeah, you can like scroll through. There's quite a bit of information there. I like this graphic here where you can see like the map, and you can like choose the teams and things and see where they are in the country. I like that little element. It's like very eFootball like. Here you can see like the calendar aspect, where you're just going through the dates, and a cutscene just pops up here in the office, which I'm guessing it's like a player coming to visit you, which it seems like there's like a back and forth interaction here, which I quite like. Again, in FC, it'd be nice if you just got cutscenes like this pop up and you can actually have like a dialogue with your player instead of just like the text that we have currently in the game. Again, like another cutscene in training, it seems, where the player's telling you something. Again, it's really difficult to get a grasp of what's going on here because it is all in Japanese, so I don't know. But again, like another little cutscene in the menu where you've got like the players training, but it's like a different sort of training setup. You know what I will say when it comes to the graphics of this game, it's somewhere between FC and Football Manager. This is a massive improvement on Football Manager, which is ultimately what the game is going to compete with. I'm sure there's a lot of FC career mode players that would be interested in this game, especially because you can play it on most platforms apart from Xbox pretty much. But especially now that there isn't currently an up-to-date Football Manager game that you can just go to if you want to break from FC. There's no Master League or anything, so something like this will be interesting to see how it gets along. Now, the release date hasn't been officially announced to my knowledge, but I know it's going to be this year, and I would expect it's going to be before FC, so this game could come out pretty soon, and we'll see some actual gameplay in English, hopefully, and some reviews. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this game. For me personally, I'm so-so about it. I think it could be decent. It could be, at the end of the day, we need more options. It is a free-to-play game, so I'm sure downloading it, trying it out, isn't going to be the worst thing in the world. The lack of licensing potentially might be an issue, but if you're playing on PC, maybe there'll be mods for it, I suppose, like with Football Manager. Definitely for the Football Manager community, it is an interesting one. Are SEGA going to completely ditch that game and just prioritize this new SEGA game? Who knows at this point? I don't know what's going to go on. Football Manager in general is a complete mystery at the moment. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this new game coming out. I'm going to try and keep reporting as much news as I can about these new games as I can, just to break up the content with FC. Of course, check out all my other videos, subscribe. Any support I got on the channel, I say in every video, I really appreciate. I want to keep growing it. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.